Hi, I'm Lihle and you're watching Chats with me. You may be asking or wondering, why do we need to take extra precautions during this time of the coronavirus? Well, today's episode of Faith and the Coronavirus, I will be setting you at ease. Make sure to like, subscribe, share this video with all of your friends so that everyone is kept safe and healthy. Reason number one why it is important for us to take all the necessary precautions for the coronavirus is this. The precautions that we take, such as social isolation, are essential because we're not only protecting ourselves if our immune system is strong or whatever, but also protecting the next person, the people that we claim we love. So it's important for us to take this a lot more seriously. Number two. The second reason why it's important for us to take these extra precautions during this time is because, as we claim to be faith people, people of faith, Christians who love one another and love each other, we are showing love through the knowledge that we're spreading and by taking care of ourselves, which is loving yourself or loving your neighbor as you love yourself. You wouldn't want someone to intentionally infect you with coronavirus, would you? Absolutely not. So you also need to take these extra precautions because they are good for everybody. You might be asking yourself, what is good for everybody? It is for everybody's good if you wash your hands for 20 seconds every time you've been outside or every single moment that you get. And by that, you're reducing your infection if you already have it, or you're reducing your chances of infecting the next person. Also, by you taking the precautions of wearing a mask if you have a cold and you're in public, you're also protecting yourself and other people, because you can be cured, you can recover or whatever, but there's also the risk of reinfection. So you have to do the lovely thing to do. Love yourself or love your neighbor as you love yourself. Number three. We need to take the precautions because that is how we keep everyone safe, and that is how we eventually conquer the virus together. You may be skeptical as a Christian on if this is a sign of fear. There's a lot that has been said that fear is contagious, this is contagious, stress is also contagious, so is coronavirus. It is contagious. So why do we need to spray alcohol everywhere? Why do we just don't sprinkle the blood of Jesus? Yes, we sprinkle the blood of Jesus, but also we spray alcohol everywhere, and this is the reason why. In the book of Exodus 12, verse 1 to 13, we find the story about the most important time and season that we're pretty much moving closer to in the coming month of April, Easter season, but now it was called the Passover, where the children of Israel were about to leave Egypt, and the miraculous thing had happened, so many plagues, but it's a whole lot story, so I prefer for you to read it by yourself. The most important part in the passage is from verses 13, when they're instructed to sprinkle the blood of the lamb on their doorsteps. And why is it important? Because when the angel of death comes, he will see the blood and he will pass over. That is what it's called, the Passover. He will pass over, and okay, that's not why it's called the Passover. It's one of the reasons. So when the angel of death came over, he would see the blood and he would move on. So people at Goshen, who were the children of Israel, were not killed during that incident, but only the people in Egypt, or the people who didn't have the blood on their doorsteps, died. Why is this important? When you spray or sprinkle alcohol on your door, 65% content of it, or of a sanitizer or anything, you are doing the same thing. When the angel of death, the coronavirus, comes to your door, it will find you safe enough and it will pass over you. I hope that as we go to the season of the Passover, we're all encouraged, whether we'll be live streaming, as it seems to be the option for most people at this time, live streaming or whatever. Remember to take care of yourself, because when you take care of yourself, you're taking care of everybody, and we will conquer this together. Also, it may be true it's probably the end of the world. We've heard about the Holocaust outbreak, we've heard about this pandemic or epidemic, and it's not the first in time of history. Just in case it is the last days, which it possibly might be or may not, or it's part of the labor pains, and worse is still yet to come, as most people have spoken. One thing is important: to make your way right with the Lord. So many people today don't even think about this part. So many people are just they don't even believe in God. It's okay or whatever. But if you have the opportunity to hear about God, maybe it was your chance to hear it during the time of the coronavirus. I will tell you this story. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have life and have it abundantly. So it's very important for us to think of these deeply during this time, that we do not fear death, because death is just a doorway to take us to a faithful lover, a lover of soul. Yeah. So death is just a doorway. You could die during this time of the coronavirus, or you could have died anyway during this time. But we are not afraid, because we have Christ, who's the hope of glory. You might be curious into knowing, why is he the hope of glory? To me, it represents a Savior who died for me. And it's not a Western concept or something, but it is a story that emerged and started in Palestine, which is now a place that we've forgotten about, or a story that we've hardly ever told, but it is one of the greatest love stories. So as we think deeply about the end times or whatever, let's also think about the fact that we need to wash our hands and spray alcohol. That's all I have for you today. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and also, most importantly, wash your hands. Wear a mask if you need to, because when you spray that alcohol, coronavirus will pass over you. Yay. Bye.